Hello and welcome to Console Cowboys. So in the last video, we wrote some Python code, and the Python code monitored the file that the attacker was updating addresses in order to scam his users. Now, since then, our code has died. It died this morning, and the reason is because the attacker removed his file and it can no longer parse this file with the regex. So, since then, we acquired 5 addresses, which we'll use for the next part of this series, where we are now going to take a look at the transactions associated with these addresses. Now, don't worry if you weren't able to capture these addresses, you can still follow through the last code and learn a lot about Python and how to make requests and parse things out. And I will put these addresses up on the GitHub for you to use for the next part, where we start looking at these transactions for each of these addresses. As you know, we can get all the historical data on the blockchain. For example, this 0FBC, which is this last one we collected from the attacker. And we can start looking at the data, right? We have 14 Ether in here. We have $26,000. So we're in that $20,000 range again. This is 3 times we've seen that amount of money. Maybe we can make assumptions there. We also have 0 transactions. That means the attacker didn't send anything out of here, but we have a bunch of internal transactions that equal up to this $26,000 that was sent into the contract. However, if we use Etherscan the way we are right now on the UI, we have to click in here and look at each of these things individually, and then we have to manually calculate things. But Etherscan actually has its own API, and we're going to use those APIs to pull back data from each of these addresses using Python, so that way we can take a look at the data all at once instead of clicking through each of these individually, and then we can make some decisions and follow what the attacker is doing. So hopefully you'll learn something in that. I'm going to take a look at that later this week and then post out a video for how to use the Etherscan APIs. And until then, I also have another video I'll be releasing for ethers.js again. So hopefully you guys are learning something, and I'll catch you in the next one.